I mean, this is Speaker's Corner, isn't it?
No battery?
Come a bit closer, because I'm not sure if my voice will laugh.
Wait, hold on.
To be honest, I haven't got much competition here today, have I?
Oh, your mate's here?
I'll hold it for the beginning. You see it.
Despite the sunshine,
You see
there is very well, when I say competition, I mean real competition. People with balls to stand up on a ladder and say something. That's what I mean. No, not big.
Oh, the Great White Hope. The Great White Hope. What the hell is it? Is that one of the? Oh my God! What?
That would be hypocrisy. That would be the peak of hypocrisy.
This is what the UK's been reduced to. What a disaster! There's a Jedi in the back.
What's the Star Wars?
If you fall over, we might have to blame him.
The little Star Wars character.
Yoda. Yeah.
Such a crowd. I've never had a crowd like that.
Yeah. Well done.
Yoda.
Well done.
That guy just kissed him.
Shall I start?
Yeah. Start.
So I am here today to talk about a subject that probably some of you are going to be quite surprised to hear me talking about, but I think it's quite an important subject. And that subject is a scourge that has been appearing on social media, and now it has appeared here at Speaker's Corner.
Boo.
Boo.
And what do they? Who are these people? And again, you're going to be surprised to hear me say this. These people are something that many people have been accused of for months and for years.
Nazis.
These people are the real far right, the real racists, the real Nazis. Not the people that people have just been bandying around these words for months and years against anyone that says something that's of a different opinion. These are real, actual, dangerous, racist, far-right Nazis. And what do they call? Listen to how they behave for the next 20 minutes.
Steve, I'm speaking to Ralph.
No. This is not. This is a monologue. Not a debate right now. We can have it. We can have a chat later. It's a monologue.
And the name they've come up with is ethno-nationalists. And these people are trying to define nations solely by one thing of ethnicity. They are trying to define the British as one common ethnicity with one common ancestry. They advocate the specific national interests of this apparent ethnic group.
My bodyguard.
And they seek national independence. They seek self-determination.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, you know?
Shut up, Nazi.
I'll come on to that. They base their whole basis of collectivism, and that's what it is, on an alleged common bloodline, an alleged common kinship and genetic heredity. So let's break it down. Ethno-nationalist, made up of two words. One, ethnicity, one, nationality.
English nation.
So let's go to the dictionary, because that's where I go to define and understand what
Not on our
words
live
mean.
stream, you did.
So let's go to the Cambridge Dictionary. How do they define
Go away with your
ethnicity?
Nazi
The
views,
fact of being from a particular race of people, a category of people who identify with each other, usually on the basis of a presumed common genealogy or ancestry, an inherited status based on a shared gene pool. Nationality, again, defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, the official right to belong to a particular country. The state of being of a nation, whether by birth or naturalisation. Look across every single dictionary, every single source, and they all define nationality as defined by either birth or naturalisation. That is a pure fact that these numpties choose to ignore. Every single dictionary. I define anyone to find
Yeah, big up, Steve.
does not define nationality as a product of birth or naturalisation.
The English are born in
The
England.
saviour of the UK.
Very clear.
Say.
These two
English are not born in
definitions are
France.
different. They are clearly
So what's it with the Nazi
distinct.
salute?
They
Why
are
do you like
describing
Nazi
different things.
No, you're wrong.
And we all know this. Whenever we apply for a job, we're asked those two questions separately. We're asked, what race are we? We tick the white, the Asian, the black, the
we
mixed
don't.
box.
No, we
We
don't.
then
No, you
ask
tick the
what
box that says white
nationality
British.
we
It
are.
says white British.
Oh
white
no,
Irish.
the white magic.
Then we're asked what
British, white
nationality
Irish,
we
Relax,
are.
relax,
That
relax.
is obvious. It's
No,
what
that's
our
not what the
citizenship
government
is.
or
We're
nationality
British, we're
is.
French, we're Kenyan, we're Nigerian, and we can have dual citizenship.
Like
it is
dual
quite
genders.
possible and legal across this globe to have dual citizenship. My wife has dual citizenship. Millions of people
I
across
see.
the world
The reason
have
is-
dual citizenship.
Why is it in the
So,
National Health Service?
let
you
me
have
carry
two
on.
genders.
Let me carry on, Derek. So the ethno-nationalists bring two words
It's like
together that are
metrosexual.
completely different and try and make
that's
them
what
one
I
and the
question.
same.
Oh, you don't know. They get
not like
But
Gender
notice, notice
Oh,
how
yeah.
they tiptoe around and they'll really try their best never to use the words race or never to use the words white
Oh, we
people,
love using the word
because
race
they
and
know
white
full
people.
well that those words will expose them for what they are, as real
Nazis.
racists that they really are. So let's play along for one moment with the idea that British of British ethno-nationalism for one moment. So what is the British ethnic group? The ethnic diversity of Britain is self-evident. Just look around. But of course, they have to play down the reality of this country and of this nation. They have to deny the reality of these islands. Migration into this country has been happening for millennia. From the time of the last ice age to the 11th century, the
From the
Celts,
Ice Age.
the Romans, the
Surely.
Anglo-Saxons, the Norse, the Normans came here. Middle Eastern Jews, and they'll particularly hate this bit, Middle Eastern Jews came here after 1066. Roma have been documented here since the 16th century. The oldest black community date back to at least the 1730s in Liverpool. The oldest Chinese
Respect, what do you say about that?
in Europe came to Britain in the 19th century.
What did you say about that
As we all
Pakistani
know,
spit?
since 1948, we've had substantial immigration from Africa, the Caribbean, from India. And are all of those people that have been coming here for millennia, are their descendants
so
not
boring.
British today? People that have been coming here since the Ice Age, are their descendants not British? Genetic purity, which these deluded fools who misuse science, simply does not exist. We all have two parents. How can purity exist when half of our bloodline is from one person, the other half from another?
It's got
We
biology,
are all
Steve. You don't know
mixed
any of it.
race to one degree or another.
Some more than others. Some more than others, though. Some more than others.
People have
Some more than others. Some more than others.
People
We have to
having
point that out.
interbred
Some more than
one
others.
He's Norwegian, I'm
Some more
Swedish,
than
you're
others.
Chinese, mate.
100% white.
I'm 100%
We can
Chinese,
all
mate.
get our DNA tested today.
He's Malaysian
We
and
can
he's Chinese.
all get our DNA tested.
We'd all
How
just
many of
get
these
along
clones
together.
have even done that, I wonder? And we all know that the majority of
And
us
this man
are
says he's
made up
African.
of a weird and wonderful mix of DNA from
To
around
you,
this
maybe,
globe
in a
because of the
metrosexual
reality of the
village.
history of this nation.
Oh, Bobby God.
Ethno-nationalism is a concept about identity. It
No
might be
shit.
natural for
English
humans to
people.
come together and to build identities and to organise themselves in groups.
Yes.
But let's be honest,
We support
these people are no different to the
Nazis.
racists of South Africa.
Nazis.
The people in South Africa who chose to identify themselves and divide themselves along pure ethnic lines. And they try and present this under the veil of ethno-nationalism
Boer.
today. They want the different races to be separated across the globe, just like the racists of apartheid South Africa did. But let's not deny ourselves, this isn't some cuddly, kind, deluded fools. This is dangerous.
you're quite cuddly,
These
kind,
people,
deluded,
this
I'm
theory only leads to hate. This theory only leads to violence. And it's a hateful nonsense with no basis in science whatsoever.
You say that, the man knows what's science.
Ralph, shut the fuck up.
Speaker's Corner.
Tell them.
An
Free speech.
ethno-state that they say they stand for has exclusionary rules to
He
the core.
heckles everyone all
They
day
want
long.
to decide
I'm gonna heckle
who
him.
can be let in. They want to decide who they force out.
Correct. Yes.
How can it ever be moral to judge individuals on the basis of their perceived characteristics of the group which they may or may not belong
Martin
to?
Stephen King or whatever.
Bizarrely, they claim to hate the left
Even Bosch
and
the
to
fucking
criticise the
lie.
left's obsession
Bosch
with
the-
identity politics.
Martin.
Yet their whole ideology is on the basis of generalising because of the group that they decide to put you into.
I'm clearly
Their
evidence that that's not
collectivist
true.
concept is surely the absolute definition of identity politics of the left.
Blah, blah, blah.
And there may be people
blah,
here
blah.
who are tempted to
Blah, blah,
listen to the intellectual.
You sound like a social justice
There may be
warrior.
people here tempted to
sound
join
like it.
them, not realising the extreme nature of this movement. They will tell you it's about nationalism, about being patriotically British,
Right?
and that the Finnish or the Belgians are no more welcome here than the Kenyans or the Nigerians.
You let them all in there.
This is
You
an
want them all to come
absolute
in.
lie. Frequently they slip up and they drop their guard. They let slip the sheer lie that
Now
this
we
is.
let slip the dogs of war.
Exposing the true racism and white supremacy of their perspective. Oh, Steve, is your wife not white? Oh, is she not even Northern European? They expose the core of their white supremacy racism time and time again.
White supremacy.
And
Sounds like a
today,
social
they are
again.
so desperate to recruit people. They are desperately
I can
circling
assure you
around
we will
like
not be
vultures,
recruiting you.
circling around the Tommy Robinson movement, thinking that this might offer them rich recruitment.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yes, they may find.
happening.
they may
Not
find
happening.
one.
Bad ding ding. Bad ding ding. Not happening.
But I can
Bad
assure them, with no doubt whatsoever, that the vast majority of Tommy fans see them for exactly what they are.
Yay!
Racist vultures,
Hail the
desperate for a fan.
I love
Tommy himself
Very hero.
fought for
He's a rock
years
hero.
to keep these racists out of his movement,
Yeah.
to keep out the extremists, the actual far-right racists. One of his convictions was punching a Nazi in Sunderland, was it? Tommy stood from the start against these white supremacist racists.
I look like a white supremacist. Look at me, man.
And I'll tell
I'm
you
a
what,
fucking white supremacist.
one tiny little thing that shows me that I'm right.
Oh, yeah?
I put
That'd
out
be
a
the
tweet
first form of
only a
that.
few days ago, and believe me, I'm no Ricky Gervais on Twitter. I don't have a big following.
Put out more than one.
But this one tweet,
More
I think
Ricky
probably
Gervais.
got one of the biggest response that any tweet I've ever
Trigger
put out
warning!
got.
Trigger warning!
Tweet
Trigger!
that I put out
Trigger warning!
Was this
Trigger
tweet.
warning to the far right.
This
Trigger
tweet.
warning! They got Tomasik brothers. Actually know that guy.
And only a few
Oh, yeah, he
words
looks
I added to
Scottish.
this tweet. Are these men British?
No.
Are these men British? Without doubt, in my
Scottish.
view,
He's
they
obviously
are.
Scottish.
That tweet
He's obviously
got the
Scottish.
biggest response.
If you think he's Scottish,
I've ever got.
you need to be
Well,
fucking
in case you
red
noticed,
pill, mate.
Scotland is
If
part
you
of
believe
Britain.
that man is a Scot, that is a disgrace to every Scottishman. in the
This
world.
tweet, which for me
say
and my
that man
small
is
level of
Scottish,
following,
if you call
got
that man a Scotsman,
over 110,000
I stand with the
views.
Scottish people.
3,000
You're lying.
people liked this tweet.
Ooh.
400
Big up to the Steve.
Of the over 400 responses, by far the massive majority of responses was
Wow,
resounding
what?
support that these men are true Brits.
But they hope not hate.
And
they
most
Muslim
of the responses
tweeters.
absolutely agreed. These were true Brits.
They're
And the
truly
people
did.
were
Do you
proud
know
of these
how
people
ignorant you
being
are?
true
I'm
Brits.
You're being ignorant.
If you think
So
that man is Scottish,
I
you're
know
having
I
a
do
laugh.
not stand alone in calling
They're
this.
British. They may not be ethnically Scottish, but they're British
These
by
people
citizenship.
have done and will do more for Britain than I ever have and ever will, and certainly more
He's
than
a
these
Scotsman.
clowns will ever do for the nation
You
state
call
of
that
Britain.
man a Scottishman and you're calling me a clown. You must
He said British.
The values that are important to me, and which I think are important to the vast majority of the British population, are the traditional,
Honesty.
now don't get triggered again,
Truth.
the
Oh, no. How
traditional
about truth?
liberal values of freedom,
Yes.
tolerance, equality and individual
right. And now he's saying, as a
These
British
values
person,
help
my culture's
define what British is about, not your DNA,
Tell him, Steve.
what your views,
As
what your
14-year-old
values, what you believe in your heart. That's what makes you British. To all those that have come and participated and contributed to this society, that have respected and contributed to this culture,
Yeah,
whether
like
Sikh
Shamima
in
Begum.
background, whether Jewish
Shamima
don't
Begum.
get triggered,
Yeah,
whether
Shamima
get
Begum is
Caribbean,
British,
whether
yeah.
Polish,
Usman
it
Khan.
does not
Yeah, him.
matter.
Shamima Begum, it doesn't matter, she's British.
Nazi bum
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, down to Mark Collect.
These people, as I said,
Boo.
are vultures
Shamima
circling
Begum,
around, desperate for membership.
Yeah.
Don't
You
fall
have
for
your
it.
Shamima
We
Begum.
know what Britishness is.
Shamima Begum,
They
by your
don't.
definition, mate.
Don't let them get the
Shamima Begum
limelight.
is British.
They
mate,
are
what you done?
fools. They are racist fools who I can
Racist.
tell you are under very close surveillance by the
Oh,
state.
good.
Because the state knows the potential
Watch them,
threat
but not
that
good.
these people serve.
Thank you for
And
being
we will
acknowledged.
not allow them.
We
We
shall
will
fight
not
them
allow
with
them.
the
We will
teeth.
stand with our brothers and sisters, whether Sikh,
Yeah.
whether Jewish, Polish. We will stand
Yeah.
together
With
against
the
these
trans-binary
fascist
fluid,
Nazis.
racially
I thank
fluid.
you.
Big up to Steve, well done, way! Steve for Prime Minister. Now, obviously, I need to say my bit as well, yeah? Because, you know, I've got to do what I've got to do. Here you go. That's all done. No, you're crazy, man. I'm not that great. It's a good speech. Yeah, did you want my lamp? No, I don't want the lamp. So, big up Steve.
Big up this part.
Well done, so what we're going to do today is, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to challenge this particular ragtag of Nazis or
Nazis!
And every week we will talk about a particular subject matter. Now we will try to keep it civil because it's a very serious situation going on at the moment. Where you have,
you tell them.
When you have
Stop chasing Muslims.
certain individuals,
Stop chasing
linked to people
Muslims
like Mark
and you get a
Collette,
job.
who has been a Nazi in the past.
Stop
and in my
chasing
opinion,
tax-paying
has not given
Muslims
up his
and
views.
get a job, mate.
Now, a lot of people would say that Tommy Robinson is a racist, I'm a racist, he's a racist, we're all this year. But
Ralph
you
is a
really want to
racist.
see the far
I'm
right.
a racist.
Ralph
He's
is
a
The
Nazi.
far right, I'm a civic nationalist. I believe
No, you're not.
everybody is part of the UK as long as you are contributing and want the best for the UK. Now, I
Shamima
will deport
Begum.
people if I ever come into power, but that will not be based on religion or race. I'll deport him and every one of them that think that kind of mindset, and the jihadis as well. But in my opinion, these guys are very dangerous in the sense that they are like Anjem Chowdhury. On one side you have Anjem Chowdhury, who's
Here comes
radicalising
Mahoshu.
young men
Masal
into committing
Mahoshu
acts of violence.
theory,
It's
shit.
only a matter of time
I
that
have
these
40
guys
years
are
on
going to
YouTube who can
radicalise a
debunk
kid,
it.
and that kid will go on to do something
We
very
got
serious
hundreds of
against
them
the
coming.
state.
Thousands
And I
of them.
hope that these guys are being watched.
Hope
Now,
is a left-wing
what
value.
we're going to do today is, Steve,
The audacity of hope. Barack
basically,
Obama.
Steve, yeah, the reason why Steve's the leader of this movement is not because he's white. Before everyone starts crying, Raj, let the white man take control. It's because of meritocracy. Because this guy is the first person to really challenge these guys publicly. I did it, I'd be in charge. But I am second in charge, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, so if he's not here, I'm running things. Now the thing
I'm
is,
running
what we'll
things.
start today, we're going to ask the question today on our first topic of many.
Liberal
2
dollar.
days ago, Ralph said that he wants hate crimes to increase. I've got the audio. He says he wants hate crimes to increase in the UK so that the UK will be destabilised.
I want hate crimes plus one.
Why do you want
Naughty Ralph.
hate crimes to increase in the UK?
Because I can see one more number. I want to see hate crimes plus one.
No.
That's all I want. Then it's your dog.
You said 2 days ago that what you would wish hate crimes to increase in the UK against minorities.
That's what I said.
Do you want me to play the recording?
No,
I've got
what
it
I
right now.
said is
So
calm
I can
down.
put it right here. Shall we do it? Shall we do
say
it?
whatever I
Right.
say? So here's
Can I
what I
play
say.
it?
Let me tell you what I
What
have
he's
to
going to
say.
do, he's going to try and deflect. We'll
No, I'm
play
going to
it.
actually, can I talk now? You've had a lot
Well,
of
are
words.
you going to deny you said it?
No, I'm going to speak my way.
Are you going to deny you
No,
said
I'm
it?
going
Yes
to
or no?
speak my way. Are you going to be quiet?
No. You're not going to bully me
You
around.
don't
So
take
I'll
turns, so then we
talk
keep
when I want to
talking
do.
over each other,
No,
we
are
keep
you going to
talking,
do
why
first?
don't
You
you
do it.
talk over
Right. So just to say, I'm going to play it first.
He's Scottish, that was Scottish.
Scottish man. There's no Scottish man. Is this a Scotsman?
Just so that we don't.
And then black and white truth. And you believe this man is a Scottish man? You should join this movement. If you believe the Scottish people are being insulted by this guy because Scottish, you know where to find us. End of proof. Do you believe this man is Scottish? You think he's Scottish?
Yes.
Join the other British man and company. Is he Scottish?
Yes.
He's Scottish. Look how he runs away with that.
I have a
Yeah?
recording of this gentleman saying
Let's
that
have
he
a look.
wants hate
Let's have a
crimes
look.
to increase.
I want
So
hate
that is
crimes
the
plus
main-
one.
That is
I
what
want
we
hate
need
crimes
in
to
the mic.
increase.
Right, don't put it on
Hate
the mic,
crimes
it's
to
not
increase plus one.
So I'm going to play it and listen.
Oh, listen. Here we go. Ooh.
Everyone get a COE.
Everyone get COE. Everyone subscribe, like, and share COE.
That's more important than
Mainstream
anything to.
media. Subscribe, like, share COE, mainstream media. I stand by everything I've always said. I haven't been able to say anything because this time something I've done.
Said he wants hate crimes to increase on minorities.
Here's what I've said anyway for the record while they're playing is, in the last 10 years, if you look at the data from the ONS, the hate crimes have been very, very calm. In the last 6 years, hate crimes against race and hate
Let
crimes
him, don't
against
let him talk
religion
here because this is the
are
most,
increasing.
this is a killer point.
So the
wanna
hate
hear
crimes
about
against
the
so the hate crimes against race and religion are rising, and across Europe, equally showing you that there's discontent in society, and that is usually a leading indicator of right-wing violence.
Make sure you get the COE logo everyone.
That's just the data.
Get a COE logo.
As all of them go down to the true right, and they should. Yeah, you can get all of them going down to the true right, and they come down. As England rises, these people have to go down.
I've got it. So,
As England rises upwards.
you can't hear it.
As England rises, it's the ONS data. ONS data of hate crimes. Right. So it's hate crimes
Ralph, can
rise
Steve respond to you because there's something I want to
Right,
talk about those
right.
things.
This clown put one graph up of hate figures. I immediately, as soon as I saw that graph, I went to the website, the national website where these figures were. And obviously there's lots of information. If you look
Office
if you
of
look,
National Statistics.
yes, we all know that. If you look behind them,
Behind them?
yes, i.e. the numbers and the division of those statistics
check
behind,
something,
the numbers
that's
that were behind them.
Behind the Office of National Statistics.
Yes, well, what you want to say.
I mean, what is behind
It
the
was-
Office
it
of
was
National
about-
So basically, it breaks it down.
Homophobia was nothing
And
to
do
do
you
with
know the two areas where the hate crime has increased within the window that was being analysed in that report?
Good.
Trans hate and homophobic
Not
hate.
good.
If you looked at the race hate, that was
The resistance
it's
to
gone
cultural
up, but a
Marxism isn't
minuscule
down.
amount. But if you look at the trans hate, absolutely huge
taking the two
percentage
data points,
increase.
but there's
And
more
if you look at the
trans people,
homophobic
but there's more
hate,
trans people,
absolutely huge increase. Because he
More
doesn't
trans
want to
people,
do, he
Steve.
doesn't
No,
want
we
to
can
expose
talk
that
about that.
because it's against his narrative. It
No,
doesn't
it doesn't.
support his
No,
narrative.
it doesn't.
All he wants to say is we're
this
we're
is how
all
Steve
we're all,
can't
we're all
argue.
beating
I'll
each
let
other
him
up
finish.
because of our racial
Okay, so
differences.
here's how Steve
That's the
can't
lie
argue.
he's trying to spin.
So
But
we
look
taking
at the
turns, or you
statistics,
don't keep
and it's
on?
hate against trans people
Okay, behind
and
you.
about gay people.
You're repeating yourself.
So there's the fact.
okay,
so
so
if
let
you're
me
going to
respond.
present, if you're going to
So-
present
okay, are you
statistics,
gonna finish or
look
just
behind
keep
them.
going?
That's my
So let me
point.
Thank you very
explain the
much,
data
Steve.
here.
That's all I wanted
If
to
you
do.
look at
you
the
go.
actual
Sorry about
numbers
shouting,
that
everyone.
climb up
Wanted
to
get
last
back on.
year, because
Thank you,
Steve
Steve.
is on
Thanks.
debate on live stream losing all these points. Let me explain the data. I'm a computer scientist. If you look at the data, what you see repeatedly is when hate crime rises against race, religion, or other little people like these metrosexual things, and when hate crime rises against them, hang on a second, when these hate crimes rise, it shows that right-wing movements are rising. My only point is, when they rise, it's evidence downstream that anti-Semitic attacks, metrosexual attacks, race attacks, hijab attacks are showing that the people are discontent enough for that to bubble up as violence. We in the right see that as a leading indicator of inevitable political.
But you're the
success.
ones who are also whipping up that hate.
We are-
And the reason
we
it
are-
goes up is you're the ones who are
fanatic.
identifying those people for hate.
So do you think people don't hate
But
each
you are
other
the
unless
one
they're-
who's whipping up the hate
Okay, great,
that
fair point.
causes those
So they are
hates.
responding.
Well, they hear these
They are
people.
respond. So do you believe people hate? Do you believe people hate only because they're told to hate?
But if you're whipping up
Well,
a
that's not my
hate
question.
and saying, oh, they're all here,
Not
let's
my
just
question.
hate
I heard
them,
you. You're
that's what happens.
You're repeating yourself.
Do you agree with me, though?
You're repeating
Do
yourself.
you agree with me?
But
Do you agree with me?
Yes, but can
Thank
you answer my
Thank you
question?
very much.
So my question to you is, do you believe people hate without being told to hate?
People hate because people are gullible and they're whipped
So
up.
you agree with me?
And they're
People hate-
groomed by people
No,
into
running
conspiracy
away from the
theories
question.
and all
What's the
sorts of
difference?
things.
So what's the
and
difference?
make
So what's
them
the
hate
difference?
people.
So
Running
what's
away
the
from the
difference?
question.
What's the difference between Tommy Robinson's supporters and Tommy Robinson fanboys whipping up hate amongst
I'm not talking
people?
about Tommy Robinson.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
no,
about
no, no,
my
no, no,
point
but you're
of
talking
view.
about
I'm talking about Tommy Robinson.
Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out.
Why'd you bring it up Tommy Robinson? I'm talking about myself. I asked
And then he talks about Steve, and then he
Don't let these guys cause the conversation.
I
will say something
that
Because
when I asked
because
you
there's
to
demographics here,
Why
you don't have to go
you
and
said
hate
no.
it.
I said
and
plus
then-
one. No, I said plus one. No, I said
He
plus
said
one.
yes.
Plus one, I
Racism.
said.
So why
I'm
would you
racist.
want
Plus
murders
one.
to not
It's
increase,
general-
but you want
it's
hate
general-
crimes
Brush your
to
teeth, by the way.
So that's
Plus
the thing.
one.
So you need to know that.
Don't
and
take
you
it
need to answer
personally.
that.
Plus
We're talking about
one,
a general
I
thing
said.
here.
So I didn't say no, I said yes plus one.
I'm not even taking personal. I'm just trying to say to you.
No, but the genuine question
It's
is,
a good
what
point,
I'm
isn't
saying
it?
With your
is, so you can
criticism,
see,
you
right, there's an
criticise Ralph for
interaction
one
But
between
is it right, that
society.
hate? We should try
You're
and
right,
make the
there's
place a more
that's the
collective,
third point.
nice society,
objective, but let me-
and that's what we should be
That's
pushing.
not going to
Let
happen,
me
though, is
speak
it?
about
The
hate.
British are willing to accept people. We have done for centuries. We're
Indeed,
willing
you have,
to accept
Derek.
people.
Good man, Derek.
So is it not the people that are coming in creating the trouble with the British?
The issue is
Is it not the people
that-
creating the problem
there are
with the
lots
British?
of
Well
people.
said.
There are millions of
Diversity
people here who
plus
come here and
proximity
integrated
causes
successfully
conflict.
into this country, and
Diversity
the only
plus
reason there's a hate
proximity
against
equals
them
conflict.
is that there's a prejudice against those people, whipped up by
not
certain
true.
factions that will cause a
Or
hate.
is it
That's
that
not
they
true.
don't want to
Because you
become
made the
part
point-
of the British
you made the point I
society?
want to
They want to be
speak
part.
about, because
They want to
you-
import
sorry,
their own
yeah.
society.
That's a different
rather
discussion.
than
It's a different discussion.
You're
I'm
speaking
not
about.
arguing that.
Sorry,
That is-
sorry.
no,
I'm talking
that's
about
the
his
discomfort.
narrative.
Because you're talking.
That is the
I'm talking about his
discomfort.
narrative.
Listen to me. You're speaking
That's
about the
another point that we
people.
can talk about.
Yeah, but that is the
So the hate crimes go up because they're just
They
being
just don't want to
picked on.
listen.
If everybody assimilated, then
They
they
want-
don't
sorry,
problem.
They're
yeah.
being picked on, that's why there's hate
Derek is
crimes.
on
Speaking about the
line.
people
Good
coming
man,
from other
Derek.
countries, causing the
Everyone
trouble.
subscribe, like Black
Right,
Man.
I'm from Spain,
Ralph,
and British people are very welcome in Spain. But what they do when they come, not all of them, but some of them, they get drunk. And that costs the Spanish NHS, that costs lots and lots of pounds.
Water into wine. There's nothing wrong with getting drunk.
Ralph, can I ask you a
No,
question?
but the problem is when they get drunk, and our taxes.
Can I ask you a question, Ralph? I want to ask you a simple
That's the very
question.
fascist thing to do also. Tell the other ones that think.
How dare you call me a fascist?
They know.
I'm much further
That's-
right wing than
yeah.
that.
He's much
Don't you
further
dare
right.
call me a
Right,
fascist.
Ralph, I want to ask you a question. We know
Much
something
further
is.
right.
Do you think
Blaming
do you think the British should be repatriated from Spain as they're not ethnically Spanish?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we are trying to be consistent
We
on that
believe
point.
in the existence of the Congolese people and a future of
So the British will
Congolese
come
children.
back and everybody
In
else will
Congo.
leave. Is what we're looking at here.
Yeah, we believe in the future of Vietnamese children and Vietnam, and we do so for the English in England. We do not pretend that funny-looking guy in the kilt with a turban is a Scottish man.
We're Spain,
Yeah, that's just tactics.
So you apparently said
So we don't believe
Can I
these
say
people
something
are
else you said?
Scottish. It doesn't mean we deport all of them, but the first identity for us to steal a man is to steal his identity. Derek is an Englishman, you're not, I'm not.
Yeah, all right.
He's
So,
not.
Ralph,
we've heard your
Ralph,
opinion. And the
by
thing
your
about
own
these
words-
guys-
And if you deny an Englishman,
Ralph,
everything else is a lie.
Ralph,
They're kind
Ralph.
of civilized people. But
Ralph,
ultimately,
by your own
the end
words,
goal
can I bring your own
is
words?
to use violence
Can I bring your own
yeah,
words?
and intimidation to remove.
Raj,
do
Raj,
that.
Raj, can I say a second?
These are the real savages.
Raj, I just want to try
Savages.
something.
Nazi.
Ralph, I want to ask you something
No
on
arguments
camera here.
name calling. Yes, sir.
You said that when all the Africans, am I right, go back,
Pigeons. When what goes back? I thought you said pigeons.
The Africans. He said when the Africans go back, you're going to help the Christians go with the sword. Yes?
So I was very
Right, you said when all the
Can we start
Africans
again?
have returned to
Get it
Africa,
out in one as well, please.
Nigeria, for example, the Christians,
Pick up the Nigerian
the
people.
Christians are going to come, yeah, with the sword. Is that right? To do what? To remove them. Is that true?
What? The quote sounds very model. It doesn't sound like my thinking. So would you like my view on Christianity in
Do you remember
Nigeria?
saying that?
What you've said doesn't even in my thought process. So. No, but what are you? I mean, it's very noisy. What do you want my positions on Christianity and the nation state in Nigeria?
Yeah,
come in, Lister.
So I believe. Let me tell you what I believe.
Reeza's making the point. I'm trying to get it right.
Just so many people.
I know, I realise.
Are you following the footsteps of Jesus?
I am a far-right Christian imperialist. Yeah. Well, that's a different debate and question. We get happy to go.
So you
into
can do the
Christian
Crusades
Crusader
again on these
doctrine.
people.
So I believe, if you want me to ask, I believe all nations should form
So
their
what
nation
were the
states.
Crusades then?
I believe Christian
Explain what the
nations
Crusades
should
were.
support other Christian
You're shouting
nations
about it.
in the
What were the
formation of Christian empire.
Crusades? What were the Crusades? You're saying, oh, we're going to do the Crusades again. What were the Crusades?
Well, it was a false military type of religious ideology going along in a militarised form
What?
that went and took over nation
That's
states.
No, it's
absurd.
not.
That's not true.
It's not what
That's intellectually
it's not what
nonsense.
the Crusades were about. The Crusades were pushing back the ideology of Islam because they were taking over Europe. They
No,
got
and
into
Jerusalem,
Spain.
from Jerusalem all the way, from Richard the
So
Lion.
it was a
out
military,
to-
religious force.
Correct. Yes.
Push
Yeah.
back.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, like the IDF.
Push back, not extend to push back.
That's another matter.
They looking for knowledge.
Like the IDF.
They were pushed back to defend.
We're not
No,
arguing
no,
with
they
each
were
other.
looking
I
for
agree that. I'm
knowledge.
saying it was a
They
religious
were looking
military
for
force.
knowledge.
I want to address this as a Christian, but
If we were evil, we were looking
That was the reality.
He's
As a
Look for
Christian,
knowledge.
as a Christian, let me
quoting his
explain.
own words, I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying
let me
it,
tell you
yeah.
something more important. As a Christian, the political doctrine of our crusades, God bless every crusader. I had my nonsense in Stephen the statue. The Crusades is one of the 4 doctrines in Christian theology on violence.
What
We have
sort of
4
Britain
hang
do you
on,
think
we
we're
have
gonna
4
have when this
doctrines on
is-
violence
yeah.
since our entire Christian history. One of them is the Crusader position for preemptive violence. It is endemic in the Christian history.
Should every British citizen in the
And all good
diaspora...
Englishmen
Hang
who
on.
took the sword
Should every
for
Englishman
Christ.
and every British citizen in the diaspora,
Diaspora,
should they
brothers.
all return to England?
Which, well, I
That's
think.
quiet.
answer.
So the
what was
ones
my
in
answer?
Spain and Portugal and the Czech
But we already
Republic
answered that.
and America,
But we-
should they all return to Mother England?
But we already answered the question.
Everyone who
Why
came
is
here
that
will now
question?
leave, and all of the
Correct.
indigenous white English will return to this
Nation-
land,
nation
including
states.
all the Spanish in Marbella and everything now.
When are
Because they're
you
not
leaving,
Spanish.
Ralph, when are you leaving?
Do you see what I'm saying?
When are you
Ralph?
leaving,
I
Ralph?
do. So if you look at, so let me
you
help
understand
you.
where I'm coming
If
from?
you're trying to
Right,
understand the
thank you.
nationalist movement, you should
Yeah.
ask the nationalists what we are
Ralph,
doing.
get the ball moving
So
and
in
go
the
home.
nationalist movement,
Do
we
you want
believe each
every
nation.
Englishman home to England?
So each nationalist of all the nationalist parties movements have a common model. We believe nations should be sovereign. They should determine what their ethnic percentage group is,
Right.
and they should decide who's
Okay.
their out group. If the Spanish decide to kick out the English, the Spanish decide to kick
So-
them out.
so
If
Ralph-
you
the
want,
Spanish
every
decide to kick the
Jew
English.
to go to the state of Israel, then every Englishman must return to England. Then.
No. You hear my answer properly. Listen carefully. Each nation state should determine who their outgroup is allowed to be in. So if the Germans want to allow the Jewish people to remain, the Germans should allow the Jewish people to remain.
So it
Just like
becomes
the-
a national decision made by those states and those governments. Yeah?
That was
Right.
Exactly. 14 words for everybody. I want Israel to do that for the Jewish people. I want Israel to be
So you're not
safe.
enforcing that every Jew has
But
to
then-
go to
Hold
Israel,
on, hold
and you're
on,
not
everyone's
enforcing
missing
every
it.
Englishman to return to
We
Mother
are saying
England.
each nation determines if the Hungarians don't want to live with Polish people, the Hungarians stay. And the Hungarians want to live with Vietnamese people.
That's your view. Okay, that's your view.
That's the view of all the nations.
But hold on. But after that,
At least I
Ralph,
got the view now. I know where we are.
after that, Ralph,
If the Hungarian are citizens,
Thank you, everyone.
If the Polish are citizens of Hungary, how come the Polish decide to throw them out?
Because we believe, unlike the gentleman peddling liberalism, we as nationalists believe you cannot separate ethnicity from citizenship. So we believe an Englishman is English, like Derek, and that doesn't mean other people can't live in his land.
I think he's British. I think you're British, Derek.
Okay, but
I
let's
think
say
Derek's
he's
definitely
English,
British.
and he can
I love
decide.
that suit. I love
He
that.
can decide who stays here.
Brilliant.
So you
In his
define,
outfit.
you define citizenship based on the race, not on the...
No, not just race, ethnicity plus their choice. Self-determination. So Steve is wrong. He doesn't understand the intellectual history of many things, including
No, no, he's
this.
making it a national.
Hungarian lived in Poland for like 300
We're
years.
getting the truth out now. Now we're getting the
My
truth.
child is half caste. So what do? Send her back to Nigeria and keep the child here?
I mean, how are you going to serve English breakfast in South
Ralph's going to do with his own children. Because he has broken his own rule. His own wife, Indian, half English, through his own marriage, German. He is preaching
Not
his
just
own
German.
principles.
Not just German. Not just.
Madness.
German, so it's
Exactly.
And
mixed race.
yeah, but not just
Impure.
It's got mixed race children, so you're
everyone's excited in my presence.
I'm sure they're lovely.
Everyone's excited. Calm down, children.
Or should we do what this man has
Calm
done
down, children.
himself?
So first of all, my wife is not just German, but she's German of the Wagner gene pool. So that would trigger you even more so.
Oh, beautiful.
Hey, wonderful. Hey, what? Hitler's favorite composer.
And you see, this is why this man goes around.
So that is a
He
eugenic
has to
pairing
make up
on the
for the
best
colour
of
of his
both worlds.
skin amongst his Nazi
How
mates.
racist
This
are
is
you?
why this man
This
laughs
is
and
racism.
jokes about
All
Nazi
the brown
salute
people
to make
should
up
look at the
for
white
colour
person.
of his skin.
All the
Exactly.
bright
Because
brown
his mates
people
are
look at the
fascists.
white
So
person
he has to
being
do
racist
He
against
has
brown
to
person.
Steve, I want to ask Ralph a very calm question. Very calm question.
Calm and steady. There'll be order in the house.
Why do you like?
notice the gross
Sorry, the gentleman for Stepney Green will be
Sir,
heard.
yes,
right,
ma'am.
right. When you do your salute,
Yes,
right,
sir.
as I've done it, and I'm just
Python. Do you really believe?
Do you do that when you visit Germany, I wonder? Do you do it when you visit your wife's family in Germany? Do you do it?
My wife is.
I'm sure they love Monty Python
Think
in
about it.
Germany.
My wife's
too,
descended
don't
from
they?
the Wagner family.
The Wagners! The Wagners!
Here's a stuff what family you're
Ralph.
from.
Yeah, which wanted exclusion and
I know I'm not
racism
doing
to
it
the
for laugh.
for a laugh.
No, I'm doing it because we are the right.
There is a theory that he's a plant of the British state to draw out the racists into the bright air. There is a theory that he is being paid to do all of this, that this is a joke, and that he's drawing out the racists so the authorities can spot them in the daylight. There is a real ongoing theory of this.
Say my 5, I'll kiss his ring.
But I've blown it. Sorry, MI5. Oh, I nearly Nazi saluted them.
The only people who's going to lead you is young men either to the prison or death. That's it. That's all you have.
Apart from the, what was his job, head of PR for the BNP, that got thrown out of the BNP for plotting to murder Nick Griffin. The only people that follow him are young, vulnerable lads. Just watch.
Yeah, they'll either go prison or it cause their death.
Investigated for plotting to murder Nick Griffin. Google it, my friends. It is all over the internet. Plotting to murder Nick Griffin, allegedly.
Right, because we are telling the truth. An Englishman is not a Scotsman.
Oh, it's bollocks.
And a Monty coat with a kilt is not a Scotsman.
Did we say that though?
So he goes round
said they're
Nazi
British.
saluting as a Monty Python joke. I know John Cleese did a silly walk, but I can't remember John Cleese Nazi saluting. Can anyone else?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Did he?
Yes.
Can you
Don't mention the war.
Remember this?
In
Don't
Fawlty
mention
Towers.
No, he didn't. Oh, he
Don't
did.
mention the war in
Don't
Fawlty
mention
But
Towers.
he had a very bad knock on the head,
You're going to call me a
hadn't he?
Nazi. Look, I'm
Have you had
Nazi.
a bad
I'm
knock on
Nazi
the
for
head?
saying, don't mention the war. And this clown is looking for Nazis.
Oh, he used to be so polite to me.
runs
He used to be
around
so
kissing
polite.
Muslims on one day because they believe liberals believe.
But
that
funnily
they've got
enough,
orgies
this
there.
man's ideology
One
is
day
very
the
close.
Yeah, to Anjem
ideology
Chowdhury.
of radical Islam.
Yeah, they're the
They
same.
hate homosexuals. They hate Jews. They've got a lot in common with radical Islam.
That's why he says he actually respects radicalized Islam. You've said that before.
Islam is
Yeah, go on. Islam's right about women. Islam's right about Jews. Islam's right about homosexuals.
wrong about women.
Look at the. I mean, you shouldn't waste your time really, but if you ever do have spare time and watch some of their live streams, just read the chat. That's the most enlightening part of it. If you read the chat of the sort of people that are attracted to these sorts of people.
And you should read it and go, boo! I believe
Come
Jewish
closer,
people
I can't
exist
hear.
and they belong in England. Fucking call me a Nazi.
What you don't think responding to racism is important? Well, you should.
Oh
We're
no!
not starting from.
It's proving Islam's. I'm about to say something bad. I'm about to say something bad.
Can I just say, I actually missed out one page.
Yeah, read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it, read it.
I might have 10 more.
Good Lord.
Could you explain
Good
to us
Lord,
all?
spare us.
Can you explain
Now let him read the speech first.
why you use 14?
Absolutely. The 14
An
words,
8.
the 14 words come from a white supremacist serving time in the United States.
David Lane.
Murdering a Jew called David Lane.
Can't keep his hand down, if you notice
Lama,
that.
the Dalai Lama supports the 14 words when I say, and here are the 14 words.
So does
We
Anders
must secure-
Breivik.
We must secure the existence of Tibetan people and a future for Tibetan children.
Well, leave
By
then!
using Nazi
Leave
memes
it!
and
Support the
tropes.
existence
I mean, it's
of
pathetic, isn't
Vietnamese
it?
people and a future for Vietnamese children.
So does the
Everyone's
Christchurch
happy. But when I
shooter.
say we must secure the existence of English people and a future for English children, you're called
No,
Nazi.
it's called white.
He's doing it to
White
impress his
people.
white Nazi friends, ladies and gentlemen.
Hashtag 12 words.
White.
Here we go. We must. I
White
like that.
people.
You're white though, but you're Jewish, so you don't
See
fit
what I
the.
meant? They always slip up. They always slip up and expose their white supremacy.
Colour issue. The word is white. It's a colour issue.
Exactly.
We must secure the existence of black people and a future for black children.
And what about
We
mixed
must
race
secure the
people?
existence of
What about
mixed race people?
What about
and a
Indians?
future for mixed race
Indians!
children. And we must
Go back home to India!
Where should mixed
Send him
race
back!
people go?
Send him back! 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 Send him back!
They don't realise what massive proportion of Britain are now mixed race. Where are those people going to be sent when these idiots get in power like that's ever going to happen?
They're never going to be in power.
They're
They
not
never have
visiting
the
the
support.
Electoral Commission yet. It was a lie.
They're never going to be in
This
power.
country is one of the least racist countries on this planet, which is why the likes of him will never get to power.
But the one thing you have to understand, he will influence young people in the wrong direction. This is little 15, 16-year-olds, and those guys will either go prison or be dead. He's our Anjem Chowdhury, so we have to be concerned about his rhetoric because he is radicalising young children.
Let me give you the missing page, like the missing link. Whether, and this is gonna trigger some people.
Oh, do it.
Whether Tommy Robinson, whether Donald Trump, whether Brexit, none of these movements are based on ethno-nationalism. None of those movements are based on racism. Those movements, in my view, are all based on one thing, and that is patriotism. The love, the respect, and the alliance with your country. And patriotism is something that I think is very important, and something that will
matron.
always see beyond colour. Patriotism is bigger than the density of melanin in your skin. Is bigger than where 5% of your DNA came from millennia ago. Unfortunately, those on the left have tried to make the word patriotism a dirty word in this country, a xenophobic.
They're at fault as well.
racist word.
The left.
They have sought to turn the Union Jack, the St George's flag, into negative symbols of racism. You show me one other country on this planet where that has happened. Every single other country on this planet flies its flag with pride. They fly the flag from every national building, from every public building, from the schools. The children are taught in school that it's good and principled to be patriotic. Only in this country has the left turned it.
Yeah, where's the left? Where's Lister? Where's
Dirty,
Lister?
negative words.
Where is that? He needs to get it as well sometimes. Lister as well.
Why do they do this? Is it imperial guilt?
I've sung enough for you, lot. I've sung enough. I've sung enough.
Of a globe without borders, because that will never
Can he
exist.
sing Jerusalem? Can he sing
Patriotism is not about hating others. It's about identity, culture, shared customs and values. It's about the way our society is developed as an extended family that is bound together in unity. And these clowns will never break that unity. That was page 5.
Big up to Steve. Yay! Well done. Well done.
Not shall my sword
beforehand.
So you said you wanted a civil discussion. I don't know if you want to still continue that because it's a little bit hectic.
I disavow your politics. I disagree.
Because I am concerned about people like yourself.
My
Because you
grandfather
see
died
you're-
fighting Nazis, real Nazis, real fucking Nazis.
Mind you.
Sorry, back up again.
Oh,
Damn
no.
good point. Damn good point.
my
Our
father-
forefathers, our grandfathers,
My grandfather.
fought fascists
I
like this.
disavow
Yeah.
myself
They
from you.
fought
I
and
rebuke
died
you.
fighting fascists like this. How dare he claim Britishness
dare
when
Britain-
our grandfathers died fighting
Yeah.
hating fascists who hated Jewish people, who hated gay people.
Are there any
We
Nazis?
fought to the death against those fascists. How dare they claim for 1 second to stand...
Steve for Prime Minister! Steve for Prime Minister!
You have no support.
Steve for Prime Minister!
Nobody.
This man argues for National Socialism. This man argues for every principle that Hitler stood for, that our forefathers fought against.
Everyone look up Godwin's law on the internet. When you don't have an argument, you're going to say no.
What about Twat's law?
Oh yeah!
Look it up, you won't find it.
Yeah, that follows Godwin's law.
And the truth.
So you keep on saying that you've got youngsters in your midst that are more radical than us, than them. How young are they? So young, how young are you talking about?
Listen to this delusion.
How young?
Listen to this delusion. They've got hundreds and thousands of fans and members.
No, young kids.
They're going to get...
No, they're saying youngsters.
10 years.
They're saying youngsters.
This man thinks in 10 years he will be in government.
It's
YouTubers. You see the problem with the brain?
Laura Towler is not a fucking politician.
And again, if you've got spare time, look online
He's
at
so
the
scared
clan.
of us.
Look at the
He's
crack
so
addicts.
scared. He's
Look at the
terrified of nationalists. He's terrified of the nationalists.
What we have as supporters
Because the
there
nationalists
are
vile
Bush
homophobia.
deniers,
Vile
haters, homophobes, they're all linked into this guy
he calls me a
here. Because on the
How
live
does
chats which are being
homosexuality
watched and monitored by the
How
security
does
services, they're all on
How
there.
does homosexuality
in England
believe?
It's got every bloody denier on their conspiracy
I don't know how much you know about it.
Homosexuality, how defending.
So how many youngsters have you got in your movement?
That's the result of a mixed race
Notice how you can't
relationship.
stop
Okay, one at a time.
Don't
Okay,
talk
one at a
about
time.
it.
One at a time.
Lads chosen to live in East London. They're one of the most diverse areas of London.
We've used
It's
the
not all
fact that he's
fitting
scared
together.
in our
Which is why I do go back to the theory. Is this man a plant? Is this a comedy?
No, it's not.
I think it's a comedy.
He's a vegetable. He's not a
Everyone in the right wing
He's
movement.
a samosa. He's a
I think it's a
samosa.
plant.
He's a samosa.
security says.
It's a coconut. It's
I
coconut.
don't think this is
Your
fair.
question was
It's a coconut.
Your question
No,
was
no,
a good
let's
question.
answer this question because the thing is, one thing I'm concerned
Anyway,
about.
I've been
I need to
for
repeat some
150
stupid
years, I've got a right to say
I've
something.
met some of your younger kind of followers. One of the individuals on 18, very bright young man, very,
what's the
very
question?
street. And the point is here, he's still not over to your side in my opinion. But what you lot are saying is that you have got because I heard you lot saying online that you have a lot of young people on your side that are more radical
And the
than
gas
you.
chamber will be at the end.
And there's a leader. You're going to destroy their future. You're going to destroy their future if you
Let me answer.
Or dead.
Can we answer the question? Can we answer the question or with the diversity straight up? So the leader of our movement.
He's like this in
Making
stranger.
up white fascist friends.
Notice how you don't have answers. They come for debate, but they won't shut up. They come for debate, ask questions, won't answer. We will see.
And what do you do on your live stream? What do you do on your live stream?
everybody out on your
You time people out. You block them. You delete their comments.
Anybody that's not free speech.
Ask a question and you can't get the answer.
It's a charade, the old thing. It's a charade. Let's block
The one
anyone who
who
doesn't like
was
what we're saying.
investigated for
Bloody
putting
hell, that's not
murder
a
Notice how he won't.
That's a
Notice how he
farce.
won't on
The one who
A
also
political
doesn't look
movement
very
won't block
English.
people that have opposition to them.
So the leader.
They'll fight their corner. You're not fighting the corner.
leader
Ralph,
of
you're not
our-
fighting the corner anymore.
You're a
You
pseudo-scientist.
lied about the 14, you wouldn't mention the wife.
And this is the real
Notice
world.
how
You can't
the
block
liberals-
me out here. This is the real world.
This is the real world. That's it.
Demonstrate how you won't let the answer.
God bless Britain, everybody.
Amen.
On trigger, we will demonstrate.
Multicultural Britain.
Hey.
That's a lovely country.
What do you think about German
Raj knows how to wage a dictator, you know. So, to answer Roger's question, our largest youth movement, we call them the Zoomers, are led by Nick Fuentes, Nick Fuentes and the America First movement.
Oh, not in Britain.
Not in Britain. No, they're more American. So the leader of our movement is Nick Fuentes and millions of supporters from the age of
150-year Jewish history here with military record, and I'm allowed to stay, apparently.
Let me say something. Anyone going with
Thank
them
you.
here, Nick Fuentes, any young
I've just got my visa, I can stay. 150 years of family history.
will either be dead or in prison. Anyone following these guys will either be dead or in prison. Not Adam Chowdhury followers, they are either dead or in prison. Same with these guys.
The right hand side of your body going to go
Anyway,
to India.
thanks for answering the questions.
Where are you going to go? Cabinet Warren.
What he's advocating can only end badly.
Correct.
What he's advocating
Correct.
can only end
And I'll tell you why, because the supporters he's got, Holocaust denial, vicious outright anti-Semitism, going back to 1933. 1488, Heil Hitler in their chat rooms. Heil Hitler is what they use in their chat rooms.
one way.
So with great respect, it is a Nazi ideology, whether you like it or not. You may not be, but it is a Nazi ideology. You may not be yourself, but it is a Nazi ideology there.
You talked about war.
Criticising
You don't know what you're
You're talking about a war.
You're
You're talking about a war. A war against the whites. This is a
on
multicultural
the
nation.
Indians. Who are you talking about?
So every Englishman who's white must come back to
Why are you
Britain.
talking about the English?
Otherwise, the Jews don't all have to go to Israel, the Pakistanis don't all have to go to Pakistan, unless every Englishman returns to England.
Obviously, you're so scared about that.
Yes, I am scared of war.
You're scared
Yes,
of
I am
the truth.
bloody scared of a war.
Right,
Both of my
right,
parents
right,
went
and I'll
for a
totally
bloody
agree with
war.
that.
Not
Bloody idiot.
Repatriation.
Granddad was against.
No, but it's a serious thing in the sense that
It's a Channel
He
5
could-
comedy.
This is like everyone to watch us right
This is the
networks.
comedy bit.
You can see how the liberals and simdads can't even argue against
Is
us.
it Channel 5?
All the dissident
Channel
rights.
No, they
5
wouldn't
or
go on
whatever?
Channel
You see
5. They
that
wouldn't be
none
allowed
of
on
these
Channel 5.
simdads
Is it
have
Channel
argued.
5 or MI5?
None of them can't even control
Channel
it.
5
They
or
will not be able to
MI5?
control us.
Which one are you
Why
working
you
with?
can't
Hold on. Today's a little bit rowdy, but in the future, we will pick a topic.
You can't do it today.
We'll pick a topic in the future.
Can't do it today.
I wouldn't give them up.
You've been destroyed.
The man sat on the white chair.
You've been destroyed by anybody.
The only bit that you've been destroyed is when I asked you the question about the 14, you missed out the bit white for the supremacist bit. Purposely didn't mention white. And that was hiding it. If you didn't have hidden it, then I would have had respect. I'd have had more respect if you told me as it was. That's why I was asking you. You gave me the answer about your Hitler salute, that's fine. But I'm asking you
Can't
the
call us
question.
white supremacist fascists if we put up the half Indian.
Clearly not.
If you want to stick your neck out there, sometimes it gets chopped off. That's what happens.
Because you
If you want to stick your neck out, that's what happens.
When you lose an argument,
What would
say
you
no.
prefer?
You're talking
What
of
would
a
you
war.
prefer?
So what's your views on Hitler?
You're talking of an ethnic war. That's what
He wants an ethnic
war.
civil
Well,
war.
you said
No,
war.
what is your views on national
Man in the
socialism?
hat.
I'm using
What's
your
your views?
words. You
What's your
said
views
war.
on national
I
socialism
didn't
and
mention
Hitler?
war until you said
There's
war.
some aspects I like, some aspects I don't.
And which bits don't you like? The merging of the Jews, maybe, or something like
Bring
that?
up subjects.
Well,
then
that's
you
the thing. Me and Rolf, we discourage young people from
bring your own ladder.
We tell them the facts that Jews are not responsible for
Maybe
many
Mark.
amounts
That's very nice of you, thank you. That's very nice.
We can't help that they're in our
Either
streets
go out in a
and,
hissy
you know,
fit or
Yeah, but I know, but you
You're
must
not one of
understand
those
who's
guys
going attaching to the
that
message.
says
That's
that
the
the
thing.
Jews make
You
no
should
chips
watch
on
it then.
pie.
If you're that upset,
You're not one of those guys that
your
says the Jews are responsible for
If
everything.
you're upset that you've got
including
Holocaust
my
deniers and God knows what in
Generally.
there, don't say, oh, they're in there. Police them. Police your own. Police your own.
yeah, but it can only we need
Police your own.
we need something. We can't
You understand?
By me, you haven't got by me.
Even though I don't have a twin. The bits are missing. the bits are missing for me is he answered some questions which I respect, totally right. And other bits, of course, the bear pit, but 14 and not telling me that white supremacy is in there is ridiculous. You're defying your own
Can I
statement.
just fall as a mediator because it's the third time? I'll try the fourth time to give you the same answer. I went for ethnicity first,
And then you were going for the other
and I went
after.
for all the
Okay,
races,
I did
then
hear.
I left
That's
white
the pure
last.
existence for humans.
Yeah, but no, I left white to the last with a funny.
Well, that's fair, and it's up to the people to decide when they see this.
Yeah.
It's up to the people to decide if they believe that. That's
These are
fine.
not. These are not our voter base.
Yeah, but you can't always go in a self-congratulatory base if you're trying to build your movement. You need the other people to join it. Otherwise, it's a Labour. Otherwise, it's a Labour.
Do you sincerely
where they're all applauding themselves.
Red squirrels back from extinction.
God bless and heal the red squirrels. Healing red squirrels.
Yeah. Nothing against nothing against grey squirrels. They're just too fucking many.
Sorry, you made your point, and it's up to the people to decide what they think.
Correct. And this is not. We are only using this as a reflection.
But don't think you can build a movement by just having everyone that self-congratulates yourself. You need, otherwise it's like going to the Tory Party conference or the Labour Party
You're
conference.
supporting this idea about war? You're supporting this idea about war?
No. I'm against him. You're not having listened to anything. I'm totally against him.
So what's this war you're talking
I'm
about?
arguing with him. He thinks I'm with him. Anyway, the 150 years of Jewish history in my family has secured me a visa to the United States.
Are you allowed to stay, are you?
I'm allowed to.
Oh no, what about the rest of them though?
Oh, hang on.
Oh no.
Hang on a minute.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
Run, devil man. He's gone. Look at him, run. Look at him, look how weak the far right is. Have a look, they legged it.
A love for their nation, and here is my British passport. Thank you. I travel the world on my British passport.
So,
and I love my country, and I love my multi-ethnic friends here as well.
So
Thank you.
Let's wrap up here. The thing is that
Well done, mate.
we've got to wrap up because Lars has got to go.
Well done. Very good. Thank you, guys.
Take care. Have a nice day.
Ralpesh, yeah, but the thing is that he radicalises one
Right.
kid, a 15, 16-year-old, and that's what they're trying to do. Those individuals are going to ruin their life. The same way that Anton Chowdhury radicalises young guys here, and then they ruin their life. There's only going to have two routes for these guys. Either they'll be in prison or they'll be dead. Yeah, and this is why this guy here, although you might see him as a bit of a joke, that he's a brown guy propagating white supremacy, his particular kind of ideology can gain kind of traction with younger people who are very disillusioned and maybe even vulnerable to some states. Yeah. Now, when it comes to this particular movement that Steve and myself and others have set up, including Simon and whoever else wants to join, if you're a civic nationalist, we'll talk a bit more about what the difference is between a civic nationalist and an ethno-nationalist, and why we need to kind of, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best things to happen to the movement. A lot of people like say, oh, it's a terrible thing. No, I love it. What it has done is allowed me to now and others to be saying, okay, this is what we've been accused of for X, Y, Z months or years, and this is what we actually are against. We're against these racists and these ethno-national and these white supremacists, but we are pro-UK. When it comes to being pro-UK, it doesn't mean you have to agree with all the past. I condemn the colonial history of India. I condemn the slavery of Africans into Jamaica. I condemn a lot. But when it comes to being in this land, we've got to work together in order to make the UK prosperous. And when it's prosperous and safe and the social cohesion is there, your descendants will benefit from that. Right now, we have people in the UK that, and I won't name too many names because he'll put the thing on another channel, that are actively in the UK trying to disrupt social cohesion and making people feel there's only one way. You have to hate the UK if you disagree with their past. I disagree with colonialism, but I'm still pro-UK moving forward.
But if you're going to talk like that, you've also got to nail and talk about generation identity.
Yeah,
turning up at Tommy Robinson.
This is
talking about Martin Selner.
Yeah, this is where
and some of his ideas.
Yeah, so
you've got to actually denounce some of that as well.
Yeah, and we will. The thing is, there
can't just sort of say them bad.
I know. It's a long period of time. Today we're just here for a bit. So yeah, there are certain
things here that have happened over the last couple of years that, you know, we need to start looking retrospectively back and saying, okay, maybe that was a mistake within the movement. Yeah, and the best thing to do that is to be honest and say, okay, it was a mistake in my opinion. And that's the way to move forward. Because I think at the moment, you know, we have a good opportunity now to push forward and show what we're really about. And that also means kind of maybe even critiquing some of our past actions in terms of where we made mistakes. So hopefully people don't get too upset when we start critiquing certain things. I believe the best way to make someone grow is to critique
the truth. We don't need Ralpesh dividing blacks.
But you've got to look honestly at yourself as well. You've got to look honestly at yourself. You've got to look at Martin Selner. You've got to look at some of the people in Generation Identity that have got shocking histories. Shocking histories. And they were peppered all around. Tommy Robinson. You've got to
agree with that.
Denounce that.
Yeah, we agree with that.
You've got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, the thing is, people are going to say, why am I talking to Ralph? Because he said some of the most vile stuff against my mother, and I don't want to repeat it. Yeah, the most things. But then again, other people have said disgusting stuff against my mother all the time. My mother doesn't agree with my views, so she's always getting attacked because of what I'm doing, yeah? And there's not much I can do about it. I'm still going to talk. But I am going to, in a way, challenge him, even though I haven't spoken to him for 6 months. I'm not going to ignore him from now on. I will challenge him when he's saying something. Yeah,
a very busy person.
Yeah, I've got the jihadis on my back and they're the far right. How many more? Hopefully the vegans don't go against me, because I'm going to become vegan soon, but I'm not there yet. So yeah, I think Steve, so big up to Steve, leading the charge, hence why he's in charge, because he was the first person to do it. Yeah. But we are going to have different divisions though. We'll have Simon looking after the LGBTQ part. We'll have Black Man under the Black division. Let's run a Chinese person. Let's want to get every part of the bring back town. Yeah, bring back not. Oh, it's true. Let's forget about time. Let's try and forget that ever happened. Let's rewrite history if we can. Anyway, I'm still going to be around this week. I can't stay for long, so he run, the devil man run. This is how you deal with it.
Thank you for giving up the time.
Big up.
I just want to say thank you for giving up the time. I really appreciate it.
Big up, man. Are you live or are you singing?
Live, yeah.
Oh, big up to the live, because the live's...
33 people in the chat.
Yeah, how the thing is going?
People heard you.